afternoon, everyone. Uh, it's very difficult to get the attention after having very good lunch. I'll try my best to make it very attractive during my presentation talk. I am Mohan Rao. I work for Samsung for more than 18 years. I have been doing the Tizen platform development from past few years. During my presentation, I would like to summarize various salient features of the Tizen platform, and it is a kind of good connect to between the keynotes, whatever the industry insights that we have got it, and the detailed technical sessions that are going to come up in this session, in this afternoon. As I promised, I try to make it very interactive. You can ask many questions. You can interrupt me either towards the end or the middle of my talk. So let's try to enjoy this presentation. So I would like to cover the few topics as I explained in the Tizen. What is Tizen? I mean, why you need to use the Tizen platform, and what kind of salient features it has, and how do you utilize this particular platform. Today morning we discussed about the convergence, connected devices, and easiness to use this Tizen platform. Tizen platform will power these connected devices, various aspects. How easy or difficult to use this Tizen platform to do this convergence scenarios, and what kind of device profiles, architectures are available to cater these particular multiple devices. And also I will little bit touch upon the 2.4 and 3.0 features and what are going to come up in the next few versions, and then we will conclude. So what is Tizen? So Tizen is really a good platform, is an open platform and flexible, which integrated many new open source, popular, powerful open source components like OpenMax, GStreamer, or WebGL, or the Node, OpenGLS, Wayland. Many this kind of open source components are very well integrated to prepare the open platform. And it also has the web-based technologies, web platform. They are very popular and powerful web technologies are integrated in this. HTML5 or CSS or W3C standards, web APIs, this kind of devices standards are integrated in this. With this one, if you make any application using this particular standards or using this particular platform, you can run it on the various kinds of devices very seamlessly and easily. So so what? I mean, it has a lot of good features, good open platform, good industry backing. So what is the kind of products it has? So today morning you might have seen the little bit of the jinx of the product lines. We have the ranging from the cameras and G1 device, which is launched in India market, where I come from. It really did very well in the market. We got very positive feedback from India market with the G1 device, and we are trying to prepare the new device for the Indian market. And Gear S2 and various consumer electronic devices and smart TVs. Can you play a video about the products that we are having it? This is a G1 device which went with the market by saying longer battery life, smoother UX, and best performance. You can see the performance stats of this particular device there. And the Tizen camera, NF series. And the Gear S2 that is launched in the last E5 event. It has very good feedback from the various corners of the industry. one scenarios of the convergence services using the mobile as well as the smart TV and the wearables in this particular video. Got the very good strong products with the kind of convergence scenarios that it got commercialized, it went to the market, and this really makes the Tizen platform as the Internet of Things, as the platform for the IoT devices, as well as this is the kind of OS of everything. So let's see why you developer need to use this Tizen platform. There are 6 parameters that typically the developers look into it. The first one is the development environment. What kind of development environment it has. Second thing is that I have different kind of requirements, different kind of performance related requirement, different kind of application requirement. What kind of flexibility this platform is giving me towards developing these particular applications. Third is that what is the performance it can give. And fourth is that multimedia. Any kind of devices if you take it, multimedia is really important. And fifth is that the game, what kind of opportunities that platform has to develop the very good games. And last but not least, what kind of motivation and what kind of liberty it is giving to the app developers as part of this particular platform. So let's discuss about each one of them. So the development environment, when I look into the various kinds of app developers, they know that it is based on the Eclipse. So they know Eclipse SDK very well. So the Tizen SDK has been derived from the Eclipse SDK in the integrated development environment. And it has very good GUI builder so that you don't need to code anything. You can drag and drop and then your GUI is ready. You can make the application so easily. Your UX and UI can be built so easily using this particular builder. And it also has the tools and emulators, debugging emulators, which makes your application and your service becomes very good, gives very good performance and it gives nice debugging environment. Next come to the app models. As I explained, each one has different kind of requirements. Somebody want to have the very good performance and it need to have the optimum way of working with the device kind of peripherals. I would recommend to go for the native applications. But if your app requirement is to have the portability across all the devices or across all the kind of services, are looking for the convergence, so web applications are the right way to go. But if you want to have both the kind of success or both the kind of powers, you can go for the hybrid applications where you can build the web-based related GUIs and then you can bring the native coding as well. The performance. So one USP of the Tizen platform, which we have learned also during the keynotes, is that the performance and power. We think about the high performance, low power consumption and lower memory. HLL is the powerful concept behind the Tizen platform. Look at the number of performance figures which is comparative to our competitive platforms, right? So the figures with the same product specs, Tizen platform perform very well. Even the 2D canvas and SunSpider benchmarks are much better than our competitive platform. compared to the reference phones which has a similar product specs. 2D, 3D graphics. It has the Cairo hardware accelerations and WebGL supports for 3D. So that means that the web gaming also is really good and it gives best performance. Now coming to the rich multimedia. So multimedia is very important for the any app developers, because if you have to engage the consumers, the multimedia is the really important. You should have the various kinds of codecs which is available in the open source, the DivX, the HEVC, or any multimedia rich content is provided by the GStreamer. The GStreamer is the open source multimedia framework which is very well integrated in the Tizen platform, offers the powerful multimedia experience to the applications and then to the consumers. So video rendering supports and web media supports, all these kind of things will give a lot of flexibility for you to develop the applications. Now coming to the games, so you might have seen the stalls outside this hall. There are Unity. We got some keynote from Unity also today. That Unity and Cocos is very well integrated into the Tizen platform, so that if your game is already based on the Unity, you have very minimum effort to move to the Tizen platform itself. There are so many game engines are already integrated in the Tizen platform. You can visit this particular URL to get to know that what kind of game engines are supported by the Tizen platform. Now coming to that, you built the application and then you went to the Tizen store. It is very important for you to get to know that how to evangelize your applications. So the first 1 year of your application, you don't need to share anything to the Tizen store. So this particular kind of offers are keep running in the Tizen store to motivate you, as well as you get the revenues, and then with that revenue you can make much more applications using this Tizen platform. So 100% is yours. Whereas you know that what kind of model it is having with other platforms and other stores. Now coming to before moving on to the Tizen device profiles, so we need to think about what kind of device requirements and what kind of platform is needed to cater this particular multiple devices. So device profile, Tizen has been very well integrated with the common product, common components and common libraries and services into the common platform. That makes the Tizen platform is available with the various kinds of devices. That is the first one. The second topic is that even with the kind of device categories that we are having, like mobiles or the wearables or the TVs, we need to have the optimized or the customized components which are needed for this particular devices. So the second thing is about the mobiles and wearables. But third is most important thing also is that we need to have the differentiation. If you have to have the differentiation, there will be some product specific APIs are available. So those product specific APIs need to work with the OEM people, with the platform people, and then you can utilize those particular APIs to come up with the differentiated applications in your own devices. That is mainly used for the OEMs like anybody. So let's look at what kind of requirements each particular device are having. For example, let's take the mobile. Mobile is mostly related to the telephony and messaging these days. It is also having a rich connectivity and location-based services, and of course navigations and the good touch-based displays and all those kind of things. But little bit of sensors. But when it comes to the wearables, the different thing is that it doesn't require much of telephony. It requires a lot of gesture control and companion device, short-range communications. These kind of things were very important. And at the same time, the memory footprint is very important. Performance is very important. When it comes to the TV, it requires a different ballgame altogether. It needs to have the broadcasting content. It needs to work with the remote controls. You should work with the IPTV kind of setups. So it is a kind of different ballgame altogether. When it comes to the IoTs, it need to have the intelligent network abstractions and device-to-device communications. These are the very important, and then these devices may be very small, which the footprint will be very less. It may not have the display altogether also. So these are the kind of requirements each devices are having it. So next few slides I will explain about what kind of architecture is available in the Tizen to cater to these kind of various profiles. Let's talk about the mobile profile. The mobile profile, as the green components are there, those are very important components for and very well optimized for the mobile kind of scenario. And we are giving the both the kind of APIs like native APIs as well as web APIs. Of course, you can have the hybrid also. The native APIs you can have the performance centric applications, and web APIs you can have the portable kind of applications. And each of these components are very well optimized for the mobile profiles. That's where we have launched so many smartphone devices which has a very good performance related statistics in the market. Now coming to the wearable profile. Wearable profile, some of the components which are there in the mobile profile were removed. For example, if you notice, the telephony is not there, whereas the context and host communications is very important. Because all these wearables are having the companion device and host devices, they need to connect with that. At the same time, power is very important for the wearable profile. So Bluetooth Low Energy has been integrated into this particular profile. And we have given the web APIs because these particular devices on their own will not work. They need to have the companion devices. So this means that those applications need to be portable to the various kinds of devices. So that is why web APIs we have exposed to the public to have the applications on these particular wearables. Now coming to the the profile is not yet integrated with the Tizen 2.4, and we are trying to integrate in the Tizen 3.0. And some of the components are, if you see that the TV player and broadcasting components and services, electronic EPG kind of middlewares, these are the very important for that. And again we have given the web-based APIs for the applications, because again TV need to have the various kind of convergence scenarios. For example, smart home. When it comes to smart home scenario, you have the TV and mobile and various other consumer electronic devices need to communicate each other. Now I will explain about what kind of features are being introduced in the Tizen 2.4. As explained in the keynote, Tizen 2.4 production ready software SDK is available now. You can download the 2.4 and then experience the 2.4 by yourself, all these features. So DALI is the major addition into the Tizen 2.4, the dynamic animation library. So this will give the very good 3D engine, and it will give the very good effects, the animation effects like page turns and particles and Gaussian, various kinds of transition effects that you can put it in your applications. So really it gives very good impression, because we built the Tizen platform as a very performance centric platform, and these kind of engines and these kind of features will give the very good transitions, so that you can really feel the smoothness over the other platform based products. Now coming to the Air UX. The UX is, we conceptualized and then came up with the Air UX. Air UX is very simple and intuitive. The consumer will feel that it is easy to use this particular UX, and then it is self-understandable most of the time. You can have the lot of features related to the air-based controls, so that consumer can traverse very easily from one screen to the another screen and one feature to the another feature. And coming to there is various other features also is available. The easy sign up and simple sharing and profile sharing and enhanced messaging. These are we have discussed. I mean, these are the kind of CloudBox kind of scenarios has been integrated there, and you can always talk about, all this messaging and everything will be integrated with the CloudBox. So whenever you move from the device to device, all the applications and the app data will be really easy to move it. Now we have the native and web IME API, so that any input editor that you wanted to develop, you can use these particular APIs and develop the new keyboard by yourself. And sync manager, very strong sync mechanism and push mechanism has been integrated into the 2.4, so that all your applications will very well optimized for the power. When we check other platforms and other applications behavior in the platforms, many platforms they are not using push mechanism effectively. They are still trying to do the poll mechanisms to get the content and get the services. For example, WhatsApp and all those particular applications. But we provide this kind of push mechanisms to optimize the power for those applications. Now let's try to check for the Tizen 3.0 what kind of features are going to come up in Tizen 3.0. So this is the overview of the Tizen 3.0. There are 4 things that are going to come up newly in the Tizen 3.0. One is that IoTVT, and second thing is Sinara to enhance the security, so that your security burdens by using the older-based platforms will be addressed. Third is that Wayland is having the very good performance compared to the X11 drivers that we are using. And fourth is that crosswalk. Some of the web developers are very well using the crosswalk kind of platform. So we integrated the crosswalk platform into the 3.0. So these are the 4 key elements that are getting added to 3.0. Of course, the TV profile is getting integrated into this, even IoT. So what it offers, the 3.0, there are 6 kind of features that are very important, and which I will discuss about that. One is the increased performance using Wayland, and second thing is about the multi-user architecture and 64-bit support, and third is micro profile, and fourth is enhanced security using the Sinara, and the fifth is that modern web technologies like crosswalk integrations, and sixth is the convergence. Really, you can use the Tizen 3.0 to have the very good convergence scenarios. The performance. So far we are using X11 protocol for the display modules. In X11, when we completely replacing the X11 with the Wayland in 3.0, based on the performance figures, we have seen that 30% improvement overall performance is achieved using the Wayland. We have the Wayland stall is there. If you want experience about the Wayland, you can go and check that. And second thing is about the multi-user. The moment when you are taking the Tizen platform to the consumer electronic devices, it is very important to have the family sharing business. Even though you share these particular devices, but you don't want to access the other data. You want to keep the personal data yourself. So this kind of multi-user profile has been added. So that will have the different kind of profile and different kind of content, different kind of home screens, different kind of icons, different kind of applications. So mom will have the different kind of things, and your kids may be having different kind of things. So this kind of multi-user profile has been introduced in this point. And also to increase further performance by having the semiconductor powers, semiconductors are available with the 64-bit addressing. So 64-bit addressing is also being introduced in this particular 3.0 platform. The micro profile is for the devices which are having no display. We are also thinking about the micro profile with the not just with the Linux operating system, maybe real-time operating system. So that is discussion is in place. So there are JavaScript framework like IoT.js for the RTOS is getting discussed, and IoTVT and the lightweight systems has been thought about that in 3.0. In the next session, my friend will cover in detail about the micro profile. And Tizen 3.0, 3 domains MAC rules are applied. We understand that the difficulties that you are facing with the security related APIs in all these platform versions. In 3.0, we modularize and we introduce the Sinara kind of APIs, so that you don't need to worry about the new SMAC rules to apply. It automatically generates the new SMACs, so that it's easy for you. You don't need to worry about that. You can concentrate more on your application development than the security rules. And as I explained the crosswalk, so as I said, that web developers are very well aware of this particular crosswalk kind of modules. So we integrated the crosswalk so that whatever applications you develop using crosswalk, with minimum effort, you can move to the Tizen store itself. So coming to the convergence, so IoTBT has been introduced. The Tizen IoT framework and Bluetooth and Bluetooth Low Energy, Zigbee, G-Wave, this kind of connectivity frameworks are very well integrated with the platform itself. So we are coming up with the IoTBT module for the IoT profile, so that you can utilize this particular applications and kind of Tizen pass kind of mechanism to integrate with integrate and share the data across all the devices. For example, your wearable have some kind of data to share based on the health monitor systems, and you can pass it to the cloud, toss it to the cloud, and the cloud will manage this particular data. And based on this particular data, some of the devices of the Tizen convergence devices, they can take the action, act upon it. So what's next? So we made really good humble steps by having the Tizen journey with the Tizen 1.0, 2.0, 2.3, 2.4. We created the powerful smart devices, and we come up with the various smart devices as we explained in the video. The bit TVs, wearables or smartphones. So what we are going there is that making the connected smart devices, make the convergence is the reality with the Tizen platform. So intelligent convergence is the mantra for the Tizen platform going forward. So this is the journey so far in Tizen. So we have created a mobile profile in 2013, 14 we created the wearable profile. In 2015, TV profile and micro profile is to be introduced in Tizen 3.0. IoT profile will come up during next year. So this is the kind of conclusion. So as I explained, the Tizen is based on the open source components, the open platform, very flexible and powerful platform. And based on that one, we created the various kinds of device profiles, multiple profiles, which makes the convergence is possible. Because this kind of convergence services are there, a lot of industry support is available. A lot of industry coming forward to utilize this Tizen platform and make the Tizen platform for their devices. So because of that, there is a good strong product portfolio is going to come up. Because of the product portfolio, you guys will get motivated and then develop the many applications with the strong developer support. Because of developer support, the open source contributions will increase. So this kind of ring will continue as the Tizen platform growing year on year. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.